Alrighty, so I'm on a break at work, and I figured I would record something. So I got a comment on one of my videos about how do I be more secretive so other people don't find out about my practice. Of course, I'm paraphrasing here, but if you know who you are, then thanks for the inspiration. So basically, it really depends on, like, if you live with other people or, like if you live with your parents, maybe you live alone, which is ideal, although you can still have nosy neighbors and stuff. Or maybe you have roommates or other people that are not fans of anything, magic-wise, which they might think is a cult, and you know what I mean, where it just puts a bad taste in their mouth because they're like the mother in Waterboy. Everything is Satan, right? So, I mean, I'm lucky to, my lady and I are both very, very witchy. So we have altars and whatnots all over the place. But I have a coworker, for example, who, her roommate doesn't like anything that's like dark-ish. Even decorating for Halloween is a pain in the butt to her. So, if you might be in a situation where you want to practice, but you can't leave things out in the open, that's why it's really good to maybe have like a trunk or a box or a place in a closet where you can keep all of your wares, like your wand, your athame, your herbs, and, your pentacle, and, your cup and candles and whatnot. Just, it's the whole set something up and then take it down later kind of thing, where you can go into your room and stuff and shut the door and set your stuff up and then take it down when you're done. And, personally, if somebody has a problem with what you're doing, then that's their problem, not yours. But we all have to adjust and whatnot, of course, even depending on particular company I would have over at my house, I would definitely put some things away just because you don't want to get into some conversations or whatever, especially around the holidays or whatnot, but I think you guys are getting what I'm talking about. So that's just about the physical stuff. So let's talk about, the actually performing rituals and things. If you're capable of doing things outside, great. If you want to do things outside, I'm more of a ritual inside person just because I'm an introvert, but when it comes to doing things outside, if you can, that's awesome to connect with nature and, be under the stars and whatnot when you're doing rituals and stuff. But if you can't, then you got to do them inside. Another thing is when it comes to like chanting names or reading invocations or things like that, if people that you live with or people that you live around, like if you're in an apartment or a condo or something, and you don't want them to hear what you're doing and what you're saying and what you're talking about because they're nosy or whatever, then of course you can say things at indoor voice, or whisper it if you have to, or say it in your mind if you have to. Arguably, some people will tell you that it is more important to say things out loud because then you're bringing it from your mind into reality by saying it out loud, and because you make your voice bring something into physical reality because you're vibrating the air molecules around you, whatever. That's ideal, but if you can't, you can't. You can still have the intention and the energies of thought when you're doing your chanting or your invocations or whatnot. That is still doable. It is still possible. God, I had another point, but I'm losing it. I'm on my lunch break, and I'm still digesting my food. So we talked about being secretive with tools. We talked about being secretive with, wording and stuff. Oh, yeah, here's the other thing. One of those other things about being secretive, or the idea of why you have to do certain rituals at night, under the cover of darkness and whatnot. I mean, you can, certainly. I prefer to do my magic at night. It's just how I vibe with it. If you have to do it during daylight hours, then, the energies, the spirits, the entities, the gods, and whatnot aren't going to frown on you that you have to do it. That's more of like a kitchen witch thing or a hedge witch thing, where you do what you have to with what you can do it with. The point is, you're still working with magic, you're still exercising it, you're still, building your skill and working your craft. So if you have to do it during the day, then so be it. If you have to do it at night to remain secretive, then so be it. You got to find ways to wiggle around and do things that you want to do without worrying about the implications or impact or judgment of other people. Now, it might be ironic for me to say that, given that I'm talking about, how to deal with nosy roommates, people you live with, and nosy neighbors. But, we all got to work around other people that we live with, and there's still a way to do what we want without having to hear about it from other people or having their prying eyes or prying ears. We just have to find a way around it. So if you have to be quiet, sure. If you have to do it during a certain time of day, sure. If you have to do it in a certain room, sure. If you have to do it with tools that you set up and then put away, sure. The point is you got to find wiggle room to do it. And yeah, I guess that's it for this one. So let me know what you guys think about this, of course. Good hunting.
Thanks for checking out my video. If you want to learn more from me, I have a lot of classes on Udemy. You can find the links to a lot of those in the description. You can also find me on Facebook at Magickology YT. You can email me at priestofthenecro@gmail.com, and you can even check out my Instagram, which is Magickology. And good hunting.